The Dallas Mavericks just defeated the Phoenix Suns 98-89, and I cannot believe what we are witnessing. Before tonight's game, we knew that we were without Luka Doncic for at least a month, and then we also found out that Derrick Lively was also going to be out tonight due to a hip contusion. But even without Luka, without Dante Exum still, and then without Derrick Lively, the Dallas Mavericks still stood a pretty good chance, as the Phoenix Suns were without Grayson Allen as well as Devin Booker. But in this game, the Dallas Mavericks brought out that fight. They got that dog in them. Without Luka Doncic, without Dante Exum, without Dereck Lively. And then halfway through the game, Naji Marshall and P.J. Washington get ejected. The Dallas Mavericks still found a way to win. So in this video, we're going to take a look at what happened in tonight's game, what went right, what went wrong, and of course, who stood on business. But how's it going, everybody? My name is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing you the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with today's video, our last video only got 230 likes. I'm starting to think y'all don't really like me like that. So if you're enjoying everything that we're doing here at Mavs Digest with our live watch-alongs, our news vids, and everything else in between, make sure you like this video. Let's try to get to 400 likes. I'd appreciate it greatly. But the Dallas Mavericks did maybe one of the most craziest things that they've done all season, and that was beating the Phoenix Suns after we lost to them twice already earlier in the season. But what made it even more crazy is that we didn't have Luka Doncic, that we didn't have Dante Exum still, and then we were out Dereck Lively, knowing that we had to play more of Dwight Powell and, of course, more Maxi Kleber. But that only meant that we had guys ready to step up. Whenever this team seems to face adversity with injuries or sicknesses or anything that just impedes the Dallas Mavericks' ability to play at full strength, somehow the team plays better. And as a lot of people have tried to say early in the season that the team plays better without Luka, I'd argue that the team is inspired to fight and play harder without Luka Doncic, and that's what we saw today. We saw Jusuf Nurkić look like a nobody next to Daniel Gafford and even Maxi, and then on occasion Dwight Powell. We saw Kyrie Irving, who did not shoot efficient at all, still got the job done. Klay Thompson hitting big shots, but most importantly, Maxi Kleber. Over the last 2 games, I've said it. Maxi is starting to get into a rhythm, starting to feel himself. He's taking shots. He's actually confident to shoot the ball. He's playing good defense still. And in tonight's game, it was just a culmination of what we saw over the last 2 games, as Maxi almost got a double-double tonight, coming off the bench. And then, of course, the third quarter, P.J. Washington as well as Naji Marshall both get ejected from the game, and I'm being told that Naji Marshall will face a 1-game suspension, and at the time of this recording, P.J. Washington is not getting a suspension. That could all change in the upcoming hours, as the Dallas Mavericks are playing the Portland Trail Blazers tomorrow night. And even if we don't have Naji Marshall, if we at least get Dereck Lively back, I think we'll be fine. But in tonight's game, everything that went right for the Dallas Mavericks. The offense was very consistent. The defense was amazing, to the point where Kevin Durant had to do everything. He had 35 points, and everybody else barely contributed. There were only 2 other players with double-digit points, and it was like 11 and 15. But let's go ahead and look at the box score, shall we? P.J. Washington had 7 points, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds, was 2 of 4 from 3 and 2 of 5 from the floor. Naji Marshall, his other, I guess his accomplice in getting ejected, had 4 points, 1 turnover, 2 assists, and 3 rebounds. And what did actually happen? It was in the second quarter. I'm sorry, it was in the third quarter. Nurkić fouls Gafford. Gafford falls down. Naji Marshall and P.J. and Kyrie are there to pick up Gafford. Nurkić walks off and says something slick. Naji Marshall barks back. Jusuf Nurkić wants to walk back to Naji. Naji's not backing down. Now, Naji did put his hands on Nurkić first, not to push him, but just to put him on his chest. Nurkić just swung on Naji Marshall's face. Naji Marshall hit him with a left. PJ shoved him with a right. Naji Marshall was standing. PJ Washington was standing. Jusuf Nurkić was on his back. How do you throw the first punch, but you fall down? Jusuf Nurkić got ejected. Naji and PJ got ejected. Even so, that wasn't enough. Even without Luka, even without Dante, even without Dereck Lively, PJ, and Naji, the Dallas Mavericks still beat the Phoenix Suns. And yes, they didn't have Booker. Yes, they didn't have Grayson Allen. Still had Kevin Durant. Still had Bradley Beal. It just wasn't enough. And to continue with the box score, Daniel Gafford had a much better game as opposed to the Christmas game. He had 16 points, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 1 assist, and 5 rebounds. Kyrie Irving, it wasn't the most efficient game, but obviously without Luka Doncic, He's going to have to do a little bit extra. Also played 40 minutes, only had 8 minutes of rest. And in those 40 minutes, he had 20 points, 1 steal, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, was 3 of 3 from the free throw line, 5 of 10 from 3, but 6 of 21 from the field. He also had 5 turnovers. Not an efficient game from Kyrie, but everything that everyone did helped us get the dub. And Klay Thompson, he looked pretty good as well. Had 11 points, 1 block, 1 steal, 5 assists, and 6 rebounds. 1 of 6 from 3, but 4 of 9 from the field. I'm really liking what I'm seeing from Klay Thompson as far as attacking the basket, hitting those mid-ranges. And Klay did break Kevin Durant's ankles. I'll probably find a video of it, post it as a short on the channel after this video goes up. But Klay broke KD's ankles, hit a long 2. It was amazing. And off the bench, Maxi Kleber, also known as Dirk's little brother, also known as the German Shepherd. In tonight's game, in 26 minutes off the bench, had 15 points, 1 steal, 1 assist, and 7 rebounds, 4 of 4 from the free throw line, 1 of 2 from 3, and 5 of 7 from the field. And like I said, over the last several games, and you can go back and watch the videos, I've been kind of paying attention to Maxi. I've been seeing, hey, he's starting to find a rhythm hitting those shots. Obviously, the defense is still there. And on Christmas Day, on that game, I saw something from Maxi. And that was a willingness to just try. Before that game, Maxi looked very timid, very hesitant, like he wasn't sure what he's actually supposed to do. But on Christmas Day, I saw Maxi being more confident, doing more. And even though we only saw a little bit of a production on the stat sheet, he was doing a lot more that the stat sheet didn't show. But tonight's game was a culmination of what we've been seeing over the last 2 games from Maxi Kleber, and we got a vintage Maxi production, getting dunks, hitting threes, making his free throws, all the while playing great defense. And I'd argue that if he can continue this production, and I'm not saying Maxi's going to walk around dropping 15 to 7 every single game, but if Maxi can put up similar production, even half of this production, guaranteed on a nightly basis, and we can guarantee that he'll stay healthy, we may not need to make a trade. I know there's people that are going to hear this and be like, no, we want Herb Jones. We want Jimmy Butler. We want Giannis. I get it. You want to trade for the best players, and I get that. But I'd make the argument that if Maxi can just stay healthy and play like he played tonight, we don't need to make a trade. We just need to stay healthy. That's our only thing. My props are out to you, Maxi. I made several trade videos for you. Just like Spencer, I will apologize. You just weren't playing well, but you're playing well now, and I will acknowledge that. I will always give credit where credit is due, and Maxi definitely deserves his flowers. But to continue, in only 5 minutes, Max had a lot of energy. He had 2 points. He had 1 steal and 1 rebound. Kessler Edwards, as well as Jason Gorman, Jane Hardy had only garbage time minutes. But Dwight Powell in 15 minutes didn't score, but he had 1 block and 3 rebounds. Spencer Dinwiddie in 23 minutes had 15 points, 1 block, 1 steal, 3 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 of 5 from 3, but 5 of 12 from the floor, as well as 4 of 4 from the free throw line. And in 29 minutes, Quentin Grimes had, 5 points. I'm sorry, that's 8 points, 2 turnovers, 1 assist, and 5 rebounds. All in all, the team played very, very well despite everything working against us. No Luka, no D-Live. P.J. and Naji get ejected. We don't have Dante still. We're not playing Jane Hardy until garbage time for whatever reason, but it didn't matter because everybody stepped up. It wasn't just 1 or 2 guys that are, okay, let me step up. Every single player stepped up tonight, and that was an amazing thing to see. Of course, the Phoenix Suns had their injuries, but for the most part, they still had everybody. I mean, the Phoenix Suns aren't necessarily a bad team, right? We lost them twice already this year, but tonight, when we had more things working against us, the Dallas Mavericks pulled out a dub. And I'd argue that knowing Luka's gone for a month, this game was so important to set the tone for the next 15-plus games that Luka may miss, that the Dallas Mavericks, even without Luka Doncic, will find ways to win. Even without Derrick Lively, we will find ways to win. Even when P.J. and Naji get ejected in the third quarter, this team will find ways to win. But, of course, only one player can stand on business, and I'd argue that PJ as well as Naji Marshall definitely stood on business while standing up to Nurkić, but I think we all know that it was Maxi Kleber hitting his shots, playing defense, getting rebounds, almost getting a double-double. Of course, shout out to PJ, shout out to Naji Marshall, shout out to Klay and everybody else that contributed, but to me, it was Maxi who stood on business, looking absolutely amazing. A few things we want to look at. Like I said, Maxi stood on business. 15 points, 7 rebounds, 5 of 7 from the floor, 1 of 2 from 3, and 4 of 4 from the free throw line. He's back, and I hope he is. Small sample size for sure. We can just hope for consistency, and I think we'll be good. Another thing that we're going to look at right here, Mavs win percentage without Luka Doncic over the years. We were 50%, then 50%, then 33%, 47%. Then we dipped down to 31 and 33%. This season, We have a 78% win rate without Luka Doncic. And no, that doesn't mean we're better without Luka. That just means this team steps up when we don't have Luka. Come playoff time, we all know we will need Luka Doncic, but it's great to know that this team, and shout out to Jason Kidd too. I don't want to let that go without being said. Jason Kidd had a great game tonight, had the guys prepared much better tonight as opposed to that Christmas game. Shout out to Jason Kidd. Shout out to the whole team. They definitely did their thing. Without Luka, we're still a team that you got to be on the lookout for. And we're going to wrap this up with this right here. In tonight's win against the Suns, the Mavericks held Phoenix to just 89 points, the second fewest points Dallas has allowed in a game this season, as opposed to the 85 points versus Orlando. The Mavericks are 7-0 this season with holding their opponents under 100 points. That's crazy. And with this win, we are now 7-2 without Luka Doncic, and that's got to feel great. The team is definitely going to be more confident after this game. We do play the Portland Trail Blazers tomorrow night. So hopefully the guys can get enough rest. Kyrie played 40 minutes. Hopefully he can get enough rest. We will be without Naji Marshall. Derrick Lively, we're not too sure yet. He did travel with the team, so he could be back tomorrow. I just hope we have as many people as possible. But let me know in the comment section down below, who do you think stood on business? What moment did you love the most? I think Maxi stood on business, but I definitely love that ankle breaker from Klay on Kevin Durant. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. We could have a conversation about it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for making this far to the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing a giveaway every single month on this channel. The only way to enter our giveaways is become a channel member of any tier. But until next time, y'all take care, drink water. Peace.